especially in former times, much speculation as to how human speech came into being. Writers strove to explore animal language. For animals also are able to express audibly by sounds and groups of sounds their feelings and sensations, such as contentment, fear, emotion, threat, anger, sexual desire and satisfaction in its fulfillment, and perhaps many other things. However manifold these animal expressions may be, they lack concept and thought, the essential domain of human language. After showing how men can explore the physiological aspect of human speech, he adds, but what actually happens in speech, how the spark of perception kindles the spirit of the child, or of mankind generally, to become the spoken word, eludes our grasp. Human speech is a secret. It is a divine gift, a miracle. Journal of Semitic Studies, Manchester, 1956, p. 11. Language had been employed for untold ages prior to man's appearance on the universal scene. Jehovah God communicated with his heavenly firstborn son and evidently used him in communicating with his other spirit sons. Hence that firstborn son was called the Word. Joe 1. Col 1. 15, 16. Re 3. 14. The Apostle Paul made inspired reference to tongues of men and of angels. O textoi acute miritra longo. Language 202. The origin of this strange diversity in human communication. Up until some point after the global flood, all mankind continued to be of one language literally, lip and of one set of words. GE 11. 1. The Bible indicates that the language later called Hebrew was that original one language. See Hebrew, 2. As will be shown, this does not mean that all other languages stemmed from and are related to Hebrew, but that Hebrew preceded all other languages. The Genesis account describes the uniting of some part of the post-flood human family in a project that opposed God's will as stated to Noah and his sons. GE 9. 1. Instead of spreading out and filling the earth, they determined to centralize human society, concentrating their residence on a site in what became known as the plains of Shinar in Mesopotamia. Evidently this was also to become a religious center, with a religious tower. GE 11. 2-4. Almighty God gave their presumptuous project a setback by breaking up their unity of action, accomplishing this by confusing their common language. This made impossible any coordinated work on their project and led to their scattering to all parts of the globe. The confusion of their language would also hinder or slow down future progress in a wrong direction, a God-defying direction, since it would limit mankind's ability to combine its intellectual and physical powers in ambitious schemes, and also make it difficult to draw upon the accumulated knowledge of the different language groups formed. Knowledge, not from God, but gained through human experience and research. Compare EC 7. 29. to 32. 5. So, while it introduced a major divisive factor into human society, the confusion of human speech actually benefited human society in retarding the attainment of dangerous and hurtful goals. GE 11. 5-9. Compare ISLA 8. 9, 10. One has only to consider certain developments in our own times, resulting from accumulated secular knowledge and man's misuse thereof, to realize what God foresaw long ago would develop if the effort at Babel were allowed to go unhindered. Philology, the comparative study of languages, generally classifies languages into distinct families. The parent language of each major family usually has not been identified. Much less is there any evidence pointing to any one parent language as the source of all the thousands of tongues now spoken. The Bible record does not say that all languages descended, or branched off, from Hebrew. In what is commonly called the Table of Nations GE 10, the descendants of Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth are listed and in each case are grouped according to their families, according to their tongues, in their lands, by their nations. GE 10. 5, 20, 31, 32. It appears, therefore, that, when miraculously confusing human language, Jehovah God produced, not dialects of Hebrew, but a number of completely new languages, each capable of expressing the full range of human feeling and thought. Thus, after God confused their language, not only did the builders at Babel lack one set of words GE 11. 1 common vocabulary, but they also lacked a common grammar, a common way of expressing the relationship between words. Professor S. R. Driver stated, Languages, however, differ not only in grammar and roots, but also in the manner in which ideas are built up into a sentence. Different races do not think in the same way, and consequently the forms taken by the sentence in different languages are not the same. A Dictionary of the Bible, edited by J. Hastings, 1905, Volume IV, p. 791. Thus, different languages require quite different thought patterns, making it difficult for a new learner to think in the language. Compare 1 Co 14. 10, 11. This is also why literal translation of something said or written in an unfamiliar language may seem illogical, often causing persons to say, but it doesn't make sense. O texto e acute miritra longo. Language 203 developed into separate languages, their relationship to their sister dialects or to the parent language sometimes becoming almost indistinguishable. Even Shem's descendants, who apparently did not figure among the crowd at Babel, came to speak not only Hebrew but also Aramean, Akkadian, and Arabic.